Hello everybody, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition, and today I figured I'd bring you a review of Mysterium Park. I really wanted to do this with Resvon, but it looks like we're having some technical difficulties, so I'm just going to try to get through this so we can get the video up. So anyways, Mysterium Park, this is by, I always have to look at it, Libellud? I feel like I'm Libellud Games, or well, just Libellud. This is for ages 10 plus. It's a 2 to 4 player game, and it takes, I always say 30 minutes, but they actually have 28 minutes on the side of the box. Very specific time, I guess. So about 30 minutes, I would say. And what this game is you're trying to solve a murder at a carnival. Right? It says park on here. It's pretty much a carnival. Right? So you're trying to solve a murder at a carnival. And one player is the person that was murdered. So one player is the ghost, and then the other players are the psychics. And they're trying to figure out who are the innocent people, places where the murder didn't happen. And then in the end, who the murderer is and where that person committed that murder. Right? So let's go ahead and jump in. And I have my little notes right here. I'll throw them down right in front of me so I can try to keep on track. All right. So theme we've already kind of talked about, right? So it's a murder mystery in a carnival setting. So if those things sound interesting to you, then this game might be up your alley. I would say this is more of a party game in the sense that it's simpler and it plays a lot of people. So I'll put that out there. But let's go ahead and go into the mechanics of the game. So the mechanics of the game, I had to do a little bit of research on it because I was trying to think of how to explain it. The one thing that I kept seeing over and over again is pattern recognition. So if you want to know how to play the game, you can see our how to play that we have up for Mysterium Park. But as a ghost, you're basically giving the psychics cards to look at, and they're trying to use these cards to decipher which cards down here on, I can't remember what it's called, the psychic board, we'll just call it the playing board, which cards they're supposed to pick from that board. So I don't know, to me pattern recognition is, oh, I see a pattern, or I can't remember the name of the game where you, as a kid, and you flip them over and you have to remember which one is so you can flip over the pair of them and stuff like that. That's what's stuck in my head for pattern recognition. But in some ways you do want to see patterns in this, right? But to go a little more in depth into the mechanic, maybe I'm going to make the water a little murky, is, like I said, as the ghost, you're giving cards to the psychics and they're trying to figure it out. It's definitely cooperative. Everyone plays together. In the end, either all the psychics figure out who killed you as the ghost, whoever's the ghost, and where they killed that ghost. And if they don't do it, the ghost is still lost floating around the carnival and everybody loses the game. So it's cooperative too, but I don't know if cooperative is really a mechanic, right? It's a form of play, but deciphering, right? Trying to mind read. What's this ghost trying to tell me, right? You're trying to read these visions that the ghost gives you. But we could go with the pattern recognition, but it's more a deciphering game, I guess. And I've never seen one that says this is a deciphering game. But image deciphering, idea deciphering kind of game. A cognitive game, well, we're all cognitive, right? A thinking game, we all are thinking in games. All right, so now that I've kind of murked it up a little bit and hopefully not scared you off, we go into the ease of play and teaching, or the ease of teaching and play, whichever one you want to look at. It's really fairly simple to teach and fairly simple to play, but we'll do a caveat on that. So now in the teaching, it's really easy. You explain to your people who are going to be playing. Usually if it's your game, I would say you play as the ghost unless you buy the game and someone else has played it before, or they've played the Grandpappy, I don't know if you guys can see it back here, but Mysterium, right? The original version. If someone's played that or they've played this one before, have them be the ghost. If not, you should be the ghost because you're trying to get people to play the game, even though the ghost is the most stressful person to be or spot to be, positioned to play, even in Mysterium. But the ease of teaching is really easy. You tell people, look, I'm going to give you cards, and I want you to try to pick, because at first you try to pick the person, then you try to pick the place. This is set up for the end where you're trying to pick the actual murder. So what you're going to tell them is, I'm going to give you cards, right, with images, and you're going to try to use those images to pick a person on this map. Once you pick that person, you go ahead and just set your guy down, say, that's the person I'm going to pick, and then we'll go from there. So the teaching of it is really easy in that sense, right? And the playing of it's really easy. You're just giving cards and you're making guesses, all right? But where I would say the difficulty, and this is where the fun comes in, is trying to figure out what the heck the ghost meant by giving you this vision, right? And there's some mechanics. The ghost has to play in the first 2 phases with 7 cards. They have 7 cards to choose from. They can redraw cards by getting rid of tokens, but you only have 3. But it's the way you play the game is easy. The actual playing of the game is where you get the difficulty and fun, because the ghost might have some cards, and this has happened to me a lot of times, and you think, I don't know what to do with these cards. I don't know who to give them to. And there's times as the ghost, I don't think you're supposed to do this, but I tend to do it all the time when I'm giving someone a vision and it's just the best I can pick, and it might not actually show them who they need to look at. I might be like, it's ghost gesturing, you're not supposed to. But there's where the fun goes in. But the basic mechanics of the game, how the game works is you get cards and you try to make a choice based on the cards you get. Easy. The hard part is trying to think through, why would they give me this card? What was the ghost thinking when they gave me this card, this vision? And the ghost trying to sit there and listen to people talk about how they picked or why they picked what they picked. And that's all really important. And that's where I would say the difficulty comes in. The basic understanding of the game is really simple. I have not yet, and I've played Mysterium Park. Resval and I have played this a lot, so I kind of wanted to get her in the video. And then Mysterium, the regular Mysterium, a lot of times. And I've never had someone go, wait, what? I do, I can, They might have a couple questions like, can I help other people? Can other people help me? Or do I give the visions back when I move to the next level, which is trying to find the places, and then weapons if you're playing the regular Mysterium. And simple things like that. And you're like, yeah, give me the visions back. These visions pertain just to this section right now. I'm trying to get you to guess. What I'm trying to get you to guess now. Simple things like that. Now, they might want to ask you, why'd you give me this vision? But as the ghost, you have to be like, ooh, right? Well, you're gesturing. I guess you're not supposed to do that either. But people tend to not have a problem understanding what they're supposed to do. I get these cards. From these cards, I'm supposed to guess something on this board. And that's this simple. And like I said, where the difficulty comes in, and that's where the fun comes in, is using these vision cards to try to figure out what the ghost is talking about. All right. So replayability, there's lots of replayability. Where did I put it? Oh, I threw it over here. So as the ghost, you have a card. Like I said, you can watch the playthrough to know where you want your psychics to guess, right? So you have that card that's already there. And I just kind of want to show you guys. Well, I'm just going to bring this whole thing over here. See if I can sit off camera. These are all the cards that you have for visions. You're going to use 3 per game, but as you can see, you have a whole bunch. And they're all different, right? So you have variability there. When it comes to picking people, you have a decent stack of cards. You're going to put 9 out. And I don't remember how many you have here, but you have a decent stack, as you can see, of person's cards. The people that you're going to decide who's innocent, who's not innocent. And then the same goes as another person card. The same goes for places. You're going to originally put 9 down. You have a good stack. So the variability in that is there too. So the variability in what the ghost is trying to get you to pick and the people and the place is there. And then, as you can see, you have a huge stack of vision cards, right? So you have lots of visions that you would have to work with, which brings in a good amount of variability into the game. Each time I play the game, and I haven't played it like exhaustively, like a billion times, but I know hyperbole. But it's usually like, oh man, what vision card can I use? It's not like I know that, okay, if I get rid of this hand, I'll probably get this vision card and I can give it to them. If you do, you already love the game. If you love this game that much, I would have some recommendations for you. But lots of replayability. Now, the production value is great. You get these little psychic, what are they? The I don't know what they're called, the mind reading balls, little psychic orbs. And all the cardboard in the game is a decent thickness. The cards are a decent thickness. They're all made of the same, they all have kind of the same thickness. The production value is nice, and I'll have to show this to you, see if I can go and not drop everything. As I told you guys before, I like inserts. I like when you have places that you can put everything and it all fits really nice. So I like that. The box is a nice sturdy box. Of course, anything that's made of cardboard with enough wear and tear is going to destroy. But the production value is good. The one issue that I have, and you can't even tell from there, but there are cards, when you first get it, they're in two different decks, and they're wrapped, right? And you take off the shrink wrap. They're shrink wrapped, but the cards, yeah, you guys probably can't see it. The cards are, the two decks were cut slightly different, just a fraction of a millimeter off, and it doesn't matter because you're just picking cards from this, but for some reason it just irks me a little bit. And it might have been just that run of them got a little messed up, but you can see, I don't know if you guys can tell, that's sitting them flat. You can see the different layers, levels, bloop, bloop, bloop. I don't know how to show it. Bloop, 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 bloop. So, I mean, that's the only kind of drawback in the production, but overall, great production, right? For the money that you're paying. So let's go ahead and jump into and like I said before, I don't know if I want to keep the value versus cost, but the cost of the game, MSRP, it's $29.99. As I say always, you can search around, find it on sale for less, and you could pay over if you want to pay over because you really, really want to get the game. And when it first came out, people were paying way over for the game because they wanted it. For $30 for a 2 to 6 player game that's easy to play, everyone who's ever played this game likes it and they ask to play it again, right? Or if I say, hey, let's play Mysterium, they're like, all right. And I have some friends, I said, hey, let's play Mysterium Park, and they hear Mysterium, they're like, yes, play it, right? And there's not a huge difference between the two games. This is the faster version of the game. The main game is a slower version. I'll talk about that kind of in the closing statements. But like I'm a lawyer. In the closing statements, I will explain. Anyways, so for $29, I think it's a great value. Right, I really believe it's a good value. Lots of replayability. The theme is fun. It's fun to play, and like I said, it is stressful. As the ghost going, arr, arr, and is the psychics when you're trying to figure it out and you can't get something right, and everyone's advancing, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose the game for everybody. It's still fun, right? There's a lot of laughter that gets involved, and then I always think it's fun at the end to ask the ghost, hey, what the hell were you thinking? And the ghost is like, well, let me explain it to you. I tend to be the ghost a lot. So for $30, there's a lot of fun involved. And it's a quick game. You look at it, 30 minutes. You can actually play this once and go through another play if you want. You can use it I don't know if 30 minutes is really considered a filler. Depends on how long games you normally play. I think anything that's around 15 minutes is a filler. So this is like a middle. It's not a full game. It's not the full meal. It's not the little appetizer or the in-between to cleanse your palate kind of thing. But it's quick. You can sit it down and play it really quick. And this is all for $30. Now, let's go into some final comments. And that would be, I really enjoy this game. I wish Rezwan was here to talk to you guys right now. She would tell you she really enjoys this game. And I would say if you go out and get this one, and this goes kind of back to the value, $30 versus $55, almost double for the big game. And there's a little bit more to the big game. But for $30, you're getting a lot out of this, right? Now, if you really like this game, and I would say start with this game with the $30 one, as I said, you can find it for cheaper. Start with this one. And if you and your game group really like this game, then look in getting Mysterium, the regular Mysterium. I went the opposite way. I bought the regular Mysterium. I bought both the expansions, which gives you basically more cards. You know, it doesn't change your rules. It just gives you more cards to deal with, which makes it fun. And then Mysterium Park came out. So that's how I got it. But now, if you're watching this video and you're like, hey, this is interesting, I would check out Park first. And if you like Park, know that Mysterium, the main game, is more of an in-depth version. Instead of just finding the person and the place, you're looking at the person, the place, and the murder weapon. So you get the murder weapon. Mysterium, the main game, plays 2 to 7 people, so it plays one more person. Or you could look at it as if you really like this one, and you know sometimes you're gonna have a bigger game night, or one's coming up and you're like, hey, I'll go out and buy a bigger version of Mysterium. Then you have the main Mysterium. There's no mixing that I can tell of the 2 games. The vision cards, you could probably mix the vision cards, but not the, maybe the killers. Maybe the killers now. I don't know. Let's go. I don't know about the mixing. But it's a more in-depth Mysterium. You get a little bit extra to do. The ghost is more involved. Instead of having this is set for like quick play. Instead of having this card that they pop out, there's a screen, and then they have duplicates of cards, and they put it everywhere so they can see who's supposed to guess what. Things like that. But I would say check this game out first, and if you really like it, check out the other game, which gives you a little bit more. Now, the overall, I was gonna say rating, but we're not rating games, right? Overall, would I play this game again? Yes. I feel bad speaking for Resvon. I'm looking over like she's there. But would Resvon play the game again? Yes. And I would ask, and she would also ask to play the game, because we've asked each other to play the game. Because like I said, we play this one more, the 2 of us tend to play it. But I also it's fairly new to our collection, hence the video now. So overall, we would play the game again. We'd ask to play the game. This is really fun. And I know I keep jumping back to Mysterium. Mysterium's really fun too. I think it would go for me player count and where do I want to set it in. Mysterium is a full meal. This is like a quick bite to eat, right? And what one would I want to play? But I would definitely ask to play this one again. So I really like this game. But that's the review of Mysterium Park, right? And I got to look back down to say it again. Libellud? I hope I'm saying it right. Libellud. And it's a 2 to 6 player, not really pattern setting, but fun game. We'll just put it that way. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. I'll see you later, everybody. Bye.